Hello, my name is Delilah Cordova, visibility creator here at Omnipresence Studios. We expose the world to our interviewees' unique products, services, and books, and we also help in their journey to go from undiscoverable to visible in a digital world. I am currently on a mission to conduct 100 author interviews, and we're talking about all things books, from publishing to new authors, and don't forget marketing. I would like to welcome you to our show, Marketing and Coffee, where authors come to get inspired and experience. Hey authors, you finished your manuscript. What do you do next? If you would like to learn more about being featured on my show, go to marketingandcoffee.com. And without further ado, meet our next awesome author. We should be good now. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. It's Delilah Cordova here, and I am here again for another author interview. And today I have with me Larry Blunt. And it's such a pleasure to meet you, Larry, and to be able to introduce you and your book to the world. But before we get before we get to Larry, I want to make sure that you guys understand I am on a mission to interview 100 authors. So if you have friends or family, or if you know of anybody who needs help with some free publicity, please send them my way so I can help them out. But as I was saying, I have Larry Blunt here, and he has a fantastic read. It is unique in itself. It's called The Soundtrack of My Life. And Larry, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody and let us know about you?
Okay, well, good evening, and thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. My name is Larry Blunt. I'm from Portsmouth, Virginia. A little small, little small town. I'm a new author, and I'm just thankful for, to be living out my dream. It all started October the 11th when an author by the name of Miss Tay M she approached me at the bus station. And, when she came up to me, we started talking. She asked me where I was from, and it was, coincidental that we were headed to the city because, the city that we were in is like 2-3 cities over from the city that we were headed to. So, she was telling me about God, coming to her to tell me to keep writing. And I was like, keep writing? Because I never really discussed it with anyone, so for her to be coming at me, to tell me that, God came to her to say, keep writing and, stuff, it really, got to me. And, it took me for a loop. I was shocked. So, by her coming to me, I decided to, follow my dreams and, go ahead on with one of my goals. And that was writing. And I produced the book, which is part one of a 2-part series called Soundtrack of My Life. And it's about, potential. It's not the normal urban read. We talk about, the drug dealers and, the drug dealer gets the good girl and she end up, something happened to her. I try to wing off of that and, tell a story. As, I was incarcerated before. I did a little small prison bid and, when I was in there, my family and friends used to always ask me, what happened? Tell me what went on and child, was you okay and stuff? So instead of, keep repeating myself over and over again with the same story, I decided to take my story as well as other homosexuals, who I was around and, who I, viewed while I was there and put it into the character, which is named after my female name, because I'm a female impersonator, London, I named the character London. And, I told the story, about prison, how it could be, well, she gets into prison, being this her first bid, she really don't know too much, so she going with the flow, and she runs into jealousy, Mr. Wrong, because and you hear the tales of, child, when you first go up in there, men gonna be coming to approach you. And with my own experience, that was something that did happen. And it wasn't just one, it'd be several, so I'm basically telling the story from the homosexual point of view, and not just, from hearsay. I wanted it to come from, someone who's been through it.
It's interesting because it's a story that's really unique that I don't believe has really been written before. I haven't heard of a book about prison and how they from a homosexual point of view. You always hear from a straight person's view of how prison is and all the torture type stuff that goes on in there. But from the way that you're portraying it, it seems a little bit different than what we know. It's very
make it so far. You have so many stories now. You'll be reading, then it'd be like they fell into the cliff, or I didn't want to make it far fetched. I wanted to be as real as possible. Because prison is very dangerous, and it's a lot of stuff that go on that from somebody just telling it to you, you'd be like, oh, I don't believe that story. That is too far-fetched. You know what I'm saying? That didn't happen like that. But if you were to experience it, I'm not saying that anybody wants to, because it's a terrible place to go. But, to experience it, it would really blow your mind. It really would.
Right. And the first question that comes to my mind is, do you remember the show, or it's still on, it was on Netflix, called The Orange is the New Black, and and it featured the one homosexual, or she's more, I think she's fully female.
Laverne.
Yes, Laverne.
Yes.
There we go. And she transitioned, and I wonder how that works. So if you were in transition or already transitioned, you'd be able to go to a female prison rather than a male prison?
Well, no, unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. With transitioning, here in Virginia, where I'm located at, a lot of the penitentiaries, they're just starting a couple of years ago with the hormone therapy, letting them get their bras. In penitentiary, the homosexuals for real have it real bad, especially the ones transitioning. They have it real hard. Then, trying to get stuff that is really supposed to be, appointed to you automatically. Far as if you go somewhere and you have breasts, you should be appointed a bra. And in the penitentiary, being that it's something that's new, because a lot of the prisons, the correctional, center, they're like stuck back of the way of the old. So a lot of this, like transgenders and stuff, even though they've always been there, they never really had anyone to push the issue. So with the new, generation that has been, going back and forth into the penal system, they have really been pushing the issue as far as the hormone therapy, the bras, the changing of the names, going to the doctors, like around here in Richmond, they have MCV, where they do the mammograms and stuff for them. So yeah, you do have a lot of transgenders in the system, not with the hair stuff, because they make you cut your hair and stuff down here, but you have so many in there, and my story is really their story, what's really like happening every day.
Right. And that's interesting because nobody really knows this story, or what, I don't think it's something that people really even think about besides, in a grotesque way. They don't think about it in a human perspective, and that's why I think this is unique, because homosexuals, they're humans too. They feel, they love, they're just like, to me, they're just like women, and it's never, their story is never really told until lately. Everybody's starting to come out and be more bold and be more broad with how they love, and it's awesome. You know.
And I try to, embrace my culture as much as I can, because in this lifestyle, it's real hard. Just like in the prison system for homosexual as well as heterosexual people. When you get into, because a lot of people, everybody who's locked up is not locked up for committing crimes, bad crimes at that. I'm talking about like murders and, stealing. You have someone there for violation for driving. You know, in the blink of anything can happen where you could end up in there. So, never say never. And just being in there and, you seeing people. That's why I try to tell the story of, you're in there, your face like out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
You don't hear from nobody. It's hard. You have to basically beg. And it's not nobody's job to, sit there and take care of you, because you put yourself in that predicament. But, just to have to be in there, wait on somebody to send you money or send you a letter to let you know what's going on, or are you going to accept my phone call when I call? Then you have to deal with these different personalities, because believe it or not, in the prison system, men pick up the personalities and the demeanors of the women and stuff they have been around. So you may see, somebody's cousin that you knew, you'd be like, he act just like his mama, or he act just like his cousin. Because that's how they do. They gossip. Stuff that women and stuff do on the street, and the men, they be around quiet at the time. But baby, when they get off, oh baby, they are the spitting image of the women that they are around. Yes, they are. That's why it be so much drama and stuff in the prison system. It's a mess.
Yeah. Yeah. So what, the woman that came to you and told you to continue writing, besides that, as a new author, what did you find to be difficult, and how did you overcome those obstacles with writing this book?
Okay, being that, this is my first time writing the book, and I did everything on my own, the editing, I freestyled a lot of it, off the top of my head. So when, like, a thought or something came to me, I would grab my notebook, or, I would just get on the laptop and just get to typing away. So, it was difficult really trying to learn, everything on my own, far as formatting and, trying to brainstorm the story and bring it all together. It was really, really difficult. It was hard. It was hard. And I really thank God for the people who have been in my life, who have been reading it, because, they have, gave me a lot of, critique and stuff. And they be like, baby, just, republish it. Because, I did make some mistakes. And, I thank God for mistakes. Through your mistakes, you learn.
Exactly.
So I just,
there's never a perfect book. And even editors, after editing and re-editing and then editing 3 more times, there's still mistakes in a lot of books. So don't feel bad about it. Oh no,
I learn from my mistakes and I live for them. Because your mistakes make you who you are. You gotta learn. You gotta live to learn. You got to live to learn, baby.
Exactly. That's good. So then, now that you're out of the editing stages, or you have a second book coming out in March. Do you want to tell them about that book so that they can?
Yes. Well, on March the 25th, I will be dropping part 2 of Soundtrack of My Life. And it's basic. Part 1, I'm basically just give you an introduction of them going from, the jail to receiving. And I'm basically, just breaking down, where they're located, just give you a scenario of the scenery. So now I'm basically in part 2, breaking everything down of what is going to happen with London, what it's really explaining, life situation and why the title is called The Soundtrack of My Life. Then it's gonna touch bases on a stigma, that's real big in both communities, as far as, you know, homosexuality,
Mm-hmm.
disease, that,
Mm-hmm.
people will pinpoint and push certain things off on certain people in different lifestyles, instead of all of us coming together collectively and saying, look, we're going to, fight this, and we're going to make this thing better, and we're going to, get some help for this. And, but, still doing the pinpoint and then blame in the book as we do as people. So it's going to be a good read, a
Yeah.
must read. Part 2 is a great conclusion.
Right. And it sounds like it's going to bring a lot of demystifying to, heterosexual people as to how things actually work in prison. And so,
Right.
yeah, what all have you done so far to market your book?
Well, I have really, really been doing a lot of, promoting, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the different, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, a lot of groups, book groups, and clubs that's going about. I've been doing a lot of marketing there. Then, and also word of mouth. I've been reaching out to a lot of my friends who have been, sharing it, upon Facebook and Instagram too. So I'm thankful for them, with their help. So, and also I have a lot of websites and stuff that has been given to me, a lot of links and stuff, that helps with marketing and promotion. So I'm a one-man show, but baby, honey, when God is in it, honey, it will work.
Right. That's true. That's very true. Awesome. And so with the next book, is there any secrets or something that you left out or something that we can find? Is there any mystery that, that's secret to everybody who's reading it, but only you know about? That makes sense?
Well, Will Part, everybody, now if you're reading, you're probably trying to figure out, what happened with the situation between, Prime, Life, and London. Who got stabbed, did somebody die, they're still alive. So in part 2, right at the very beginning, I'm just giving it to you straightforward, letting you know who's, where, what happened to the other person, it's telling you how London feels after, going through her ordeal with Prime at the end. So it's basically, jumping out at you head first. 3D. You go to a
Nice.
movie, you look at some 3D, it just wham. That's how part 2 is going to give it to you. More action, plenty of drama. It's bringing everything to the head from part 1, basically.
Right. Is there any other interesting characters in the book that accompany London that you would like to tell about?
Yes, well, my characters in my book, I took the names from people that I know. It's a character in there named Wink, and like my experience, when I was incarcerated, I had ran into a lot of my, homeboys from around my town. That's what we call, our close friends. We call them our homeboys. So I ran into a lot of my homeboys, and through my process, because I got incarcerated at a young age, and I thank God for for overcoming it. And they really embraced me. It wasn't the gay bashing or I don't want that homosexual around me and stuff like that. They really embraced me and let me know this is, my homeboy, and show him respect. He don't bother nobody, And then that's why I try to show the characters Wink and Oaks. That's their names. It's two friends that, London was in the jail with, and, Wink was in the jail with her. And Oaks is somebody that she meet once she gets to the penitentiary, who she knew for a long time, who's been gone for a while. But when they come together, it's like they had been around each other, forever. Even though they really didn't deal with each other in the streets, it really, shows what the struggle brings forth, the real of who people really are, It shows it's time to pull together and embrace. So but that's basically what, Wink and Oaks doing. They coming to, to London and let them know, we here for you, you need us, we're gonna be by your side and stuff like that. I have a life, who is the person
They ride or die, right?
the
They
title is that
They ride or die.
when she meets Mr. Wrong, it's like after she meets Mr. Wrong, she runs into Mr. Right, and she's like, "Oh my God, what have I done?" You know, you've been somewhere, you jump at the first thing you see so fast, then after a while, you be like, "Lord have mercy." You see somebody better, you be like, "What have I done? Now, what in the world I do that for?" So that's who life is for London. She meets Mr. Wrong.
Oh God, I've done that so many times.
Exactly.
Like,
So we all can relate to that.
yeah, we can connect to that. I can connect to that. So I want to know more about Mr. Wrong though, because the way that it's, it sounds like he was like, usually when you say like Mr. Wrong, like he's right in all the bad ways, and kind of that's really mysterious to me.
Okay, so with London meeting Mr. Wrong, it's like, just like I said, you know how you go somewhere and you see somebody, and just like you meeting somebody for the very first time, you going on a blind date or a date. That's how it is in the book, and the story I'm telling from the prison system. Everybody is really just giving you a part of them who they want you to see. You really don't know who you're dealing with. I can come and tell you, girl, I got 2 limousines, a Lexus, and a Rolls Royce just parked in the garage. Girl, I don't do nothing, and I work for 500 Fortune 500 company. But you only can go by what I tell you, and that's what it was when London's first running to. It's like, oh my God, she's going off of the look because he's so nice looking, and nothing else mattered at the time. Only thing she worried about is, oh, he looks good. Then she have a friend in her ear telling her, oh yeah, you having it hard. You don't have nothing right now, so holler at him because he got money. And come to find out, it's just a mirage. When all that she's going after and what she get, it's really a mirage. And once she grabbed hold of it, she realizes I made a big mistake. Exactly.
So was Mr. Wrong like, of course he was a liar in portraying himself to have something that he does not. But did he was he violent, or what was his character traits a little bit?
That's good. That's the part that you have to read to find out. Once you start reading the story, you'll understand. You'll be like, oh my God. So, because he's basically explaining to you why he's doing what he's doing. You'll come to understand his story too. Because just like I have a story, you have a story to tell. We all have stories to tell, and we can't understand why somebody's acting the way they act until we understand their story.
Right. But so with that, you said they finally met Mr. Right, but then they probably didn't get the opportunity after that, did they? did London?
Where part 2 come in at. So when Mr. Right steps in at the end to, kind of like save the day, London and his relationship kind of like, goes a little sour, but you got to read and wait for part 2 on March 25th to find out.
There you go. So then when I have a different kind of question, I guess. What is dating like in prison? What is dating like? Like, is it
Oh,
like where do you go to? What do you guys do? What is considered dating when you're in prison? Because it's not that. Uh, I don't know. I don't know what occurs at all.
girl, it makes you dating in prison makes you feel like a whore. It's like a whorish event because a one day in prison is totally different than your average day out here on the land. See, I could be in prison, I could be moved 2, 3 times,
Hmm.
go from one building to another, go to the child hall at nighttime, go to a program. I could do so much within that day. And out here, once you go to work, come home, you be tired, you go to bed, fit something to eat, go to bed, the day over with. So it's really different. So when dating in there, it's like you're so many guys are coming at you. So sometimes depending on the situation of the homosexual, because some have it hard where they don't have nobody, and dating is like a safety net. You basically get somebody who's going to be there for you to take care of you and supply your needs. Then some wait, they don't date. They figure as if I'm not going to be with him because with the men in the prison, you so many, you think that you're gonna be, the main one for him. Then later on, you find out, well, he done been with this homosexual and that homosexual, 2 homosexuals on the other side of the yard. So you really got to, you know, investigate people. Then you really can't investigate them because you really don't know because they only giving you what they want you to see.
Right.
So it's really difficult. Then you have a lot of sneaky homosexuals and conniving homosexuals. They'll hook you up with a guy, and the whole time they might be messing with them behind your back, So it's really like, it's crazy.
Cutthroat. That sounds
Dating
cutthroat.
world in the prison. Yes, they could be very, very cutthroat. You'll talk to your friend the whole time, she'll be messing with your man behind your back. It's a mess. Ain't nothing different, no different than out here on the streets, honey.
Oh, that's what it
Yes.
sounds like. 'Cause I was about to say it sounds just about the same as, you know. Right. Okay. John Voltman is here with us, and he said, yeah, there's no going for a walk in the park. Can't go for a walk in the park.
What?
How?
Can we go for a walk in the park?
No, John said that there's no going for a walk in the park when you're dating in prison. You know?
You're on lockdown. John probably been himself. Baby, that day where some men get you, honey, they want to control you, so they'll take to the abusive way. They be beating, the homosexuals, try to keep them in the cells and, control who they deal with, talk to, what they wear. It's a mess. It's a lot.
So,
And in my story, I try to do it all, but it's just so much to,
right.
it's a lot.
I can see that. I can see it gets complicated by just listening to you talk. I'm learning a lot of stuff I did not know about. But yeah. So I have another question. So I don't know. When men go to jail, right, are the majority of them heterosexual, but then after they've been in jail for so long, switch over to being homosexual while in jail, and then come back out as a heterosexual again?
On the building itself of why men from heterosexual men may want to, because not everybody as a heterosexual person who goes into prison, not all of them mess around. Let's make that clear, because I know plenty of men who have been down and have done time. I'm talking about like 10 years, 15 years, and have never messed with a homosexual. And I'm talking about I have been around homosexuals in there who have had breasts, big hips and nice big butts, who are really appealing and look just like women. And you have the heterosexual men who, just don't mess around. It's not everybody's preference. Just like as a homosexual, women is not my preference. So just because I'm might go to a women's facility don't mean that I'm automatically want to mess around with a woman. You know what I'm saying? So not everybody messes around, but the ones that do, I wouldn't say that they'll come into the prison system and start, because some are down low men or out on the street. So it's what's in you basically is gonna come out of you. So if you was dipping and dabbing on the street, more than likely they'll come inside and dip and dab. Then you have some who, I have experienced some who have tried it, and when they get out on the street, they just don't want to do the much. They act like they don't know you, won't speak to you, and it's just life, Some do, some don't. Yeah.
Interesting. This is so interesting. It's such an interesting topic because it's one most people just don't understand,
Yeah.
So with this book, did you just, so you did the self-publishing route, right? How did that go for you? Self-publishing your book.
Well, once I got over, trying to do everything on my own and, being afraid of asking for help, because me, I'm the type of person, I like to do everything on my own.
Mm-hmm.
If I, can't, only people I really, really ask for help is like my sisters or, family members or friends who are really, really close. But to everyone else, it's like a big question mark, like, a mystery to what, what I'm, about and stuff. So, well, doing it and trying to publish it myself was so hard at first. So once Miss Clark, she gave me, the ins and outs to, where to go and how to do it and, how to really format it. Got better, but at first it was hard. It was very stressful, trust me. And it's still stressful. Right now I got writer's block, terrible. When I say terrible, I'll be like, oh my God, it gets that way. But baby, you gotta have patience.
Yes, I can see that. So with you had guidance and all that, but with the writers, the bigger question I want to ask is, how long did it take you to write it versus your first book versus your second book?
Well, to be honest, I had wrote a couple of stories before, because like I told you, it has always been a dream of mine. And the stories that I wrote, they weren't what I wanted to bring out, because I didn't want it to be as the same as other urban books. So I went from off the top of my head with experiences and, like I said before, experiences and things that I have seen. And then that's what I just, freelance everything, put it from scrape from the top of the head, just type. And that's how I did my first book. But with this second one, I'm more like, brainstorming and, writing everything down in my notebook and, trying to really
really develop the story.
Each character. Exactly.
Beautiful. So it changed you from it changed your way of writing and your process. Now you're getting professional. See? And
exactly.
I think we'll see a lot of great books come out of you, because I have a feeling that you are not done. But so what's for Larry Blunt, or your name, Bella Carta, or London, right? I've seen a few names. What is on your what is your plan of action for the next 5 years? Where are we going to see Larry Blunt go?
That is a very good question. Well, in 5 years, I see myself living better, writing better. I'm thinking that I may end up being with a publishing company because I have two who's trying I'm in talks with right now, and more into church, having God in my life more. I do know that, and just being a better me. Being a better me. That's about it.
Right. And so then, what about Larry Blunt's love life? Is that going to affect your next coming books? Are you seeing anybody?
Oh,
I'm wondering.
at present time, I have a friend, but I don't have no I don't really date and do the boyfriend type of thing. I don't put titles and labels on people, honey. Cause one thing about it, you can't control nobody. Somebody can do what they want to do anyway. So right now I have a friend. We enjoying each other company. He's not my friend, 'cause he can do what he want to do. Cause I'm doing. But if I feel that things get better as time go on, then a label may come about. But as of right now, we just friends.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's sweet, though. Larry. All right. So, yeah, guys, I appreciate everybody who popped in and came by to listen to Larry Blunt and I. And I appreciate John Boltman for participating a lot with us tonight. And if you guys have questions, or you have you want to go and check out Larry's book, I'm going to leave the link in the comments, and Larry will come back and he'll be around to answer your questions if you have any on the replay. And Larry, I appreciate you for coming on with me.
Yeah.
And being one of my authors.
You too. Thank
you. And I have to say,
yes, that's true.
yes, and I have to say, you are a very sweet and kind person. I can sense, and an inspiration, and because you're very brave to go and write and achieve this without judgment. You know what I mean, or without fear of judgment. So,
baby, I'm not nobody judging. One thing about me, they don't do nothing for me, honey. I had to learn that a long time ago. You got to get it for yourself. People gonna talk whether you're doing good.
Yes, and I commend you for that. And I think it's a very awesome thing of you to do. And it also will help for your community, and making it more aware of how it actually works, so that people don't look at you foreign, or look at your community as foreign as they do now. It'll be more, understanding, right? That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it was a pleasure to meet you. And yeah, you guys make sure, if you're catching a replay, ask your questions, leave your comments, give us hearts, give us likes, and help us get Larry and his book out to the world.
Yeah, honey.
Yeah, let's get out there. And yep. So I'm gonna say au revoir, and we'll see you guys later. Hashtag support your author by leaving reviews. You can visit this author's book at the link above.